As we continue to inspect the variables within the variable view, we may want to recode some of our variables. In this case, we would like to transform the format of the variable into a different variable. Let's take, for instance, the commute time variable. If we look in the data view, the commute time variable has actual times based on the amount of minutes it takes for the respondent to commute onto campus. So we can see we have numerical values here. In this case, what we can do, if we would like to create a categorical variable where we have actual order in terms of the categories of the times, we can go into the variable view and we can inspect that specific variable again. Commute time, numeric, how long it takes to commute. So we notice that it's scale. If I would like to create a categorical variable, I can go to transform, recode into different variables, and this dialog box appears. Please note that on the left side, you can see all the variables that are within the file. And if you would like to see just the variable names, you can actually right-click on a variable and click Display Variable Names, and you would see them as they appear in the variable view. So the commute time variable is the one of interest. We will select and put it into this box where we want to go from numeric variable to the specific variable of interest. Before we do so, we need to name the variable. And remember, this is a new variable we are creating based on the old one. In this case, we can name it commute time category or commute time cat for short. And in the label, we can give it something meaningful, which would appear on our output. So we can label this as commute time categories. Please note that you can actually change the label as you go back to the variable view. So we click change and the new name appears here. Next step is that we need to put our old and new values into the same dialog box for transformation. So we click on old and new values where we can perform the recoding step. The first step is that we want to actually have 3 different categories. We want to have commute time is 30 minutes or less. Commute time is between 30 and 60 minutes. And commute time is greater than 60 minutes or more than an hour. To do so, we put in the specific values that we already had in the original data. So for instance, let's take the range 30 minutes or less. We can start with the label range lowest through value. So once we click on once we type 30, this will indicate that we are looking at 30 minutes through the lowest value that we have in terms of the number of minutes to commute. We label this value as 1 and click add to go from old to new. And therefore it shows up like this. Lowest through 30 means 30 minutes or less. Next, the second category we look at is between 30 and 60 minutes. So we have range 30 through 60 minutes. We label that value as 2 and click add. For the last category, we want the commute time to label greater than 60 minutes as 3. So we can click on range value through highest, 60 minutes and 3. So we click continue, then we click OK. The output box, which appears, will showcase the computation that was just performed in the transformation box. As we return to the old data set, we can see that our new category has appeared, commute time categories, and in the data view, we notice that we have a new column with those specific labels. What we need to do at this point is to actually give those values the specific names and labels we just created. So we are doing a reverse step in this case. So the first value, which was 1, we give it that meaningful label of commute is 30 minutes or less. Second, commute time is more than 30 and less than 60 minutes. And the third label is commute is more than an hour. Once we have all our labels, we click OK. And we can see they are indicated in this list. Since they have some specific order in terms of the categories, we can change the measure to ordinal. In this case, we have created a new variable, which is a categorical variable based on the previous variable, which was quantitative or scaled.